Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back to my channel. So this is a highly requested video and I promised to make this video a really long time ago, but now I have time. Okay, so today we're going to be making a vitamin C serum. I've reviewed vitamin C serums on my channel, and a lot of people really like those vitamin C serums. And then we had some people who were like, do we have like a DIY vitamin C serum? I mean, there are a lot of DIYs out there, but the serum I'm about to make today is something that a lot of people are going to be wondering about. And this today is because I'm going to be using vitamin C, which is Ascorbic acid, and Niacinamide together, and you'll be like, whoa, aren't those on different pH levels? Yes, they are, but today I'm going to be explaining a little bit behind the science. Okay, so if you are interested in making a budget-friendly DIY vitamin C serum, as well as a serum that you can produce to sell, keep watching this video, because I'm going to be going into a lot of talking. I'm going to be talking a lot, as well as carrying out this formulation. So like I said, if you want to make a budget-friendly DIY serum, you want to be able to make your own for sale, you need to stick around. All right, so vitamin C serum is vitamin C is an antioxidant. It helps to mop up free radicals and all of that. Now, vitamin C serums, the ones that are being sold around, we have different forms of vitamin C. Okay, so vitamin C can be very unstable. That is L-ascorbic acid can be very unstable, and so we use other forms of vitamin C. So if you bought my active ingredients ebook, you know what I'm talking about. This is L-ascorbic acid. This is the most common vitamin C. Then we have SAP, we have MAP, we have TAP. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what TAP looks like. So this is SAP. This is sodium ascorbyl phosphate. This is a form of vitamin C. It is a stable form of vitamin C, meaning because L-ascorbic acid can oxidize, that's the problem we have with it. But these are the industrial made, these are forms of vitamin C, so they give the same benefits as vitamin C, but they are much more stable. Okay, so I have two recipes today, but the first one I'm going to be using L-ascorbic acid, because this is very common, affordable, it's everywhere, you can easily get it, right? And so it's something that can easily be made. That is why I call it a budget-friendly vitamin C serum. Okay, also I'm going to be using very little ingredients in this first recipe. Okay, so the ingredients I'm going to be using, I'm going to list as I go, and then I'm going to be telling you the percentage. But just a quick rundown: I'm going to be using distilled water, L-ascorbic acid, I'm going to be using niacinamide, I'm going to be using aloe vera gel, I'm going to be using either vitamin E oil or vitamin E gel, I'm going to be using vegetable glycerin. Somebody told me something about whitening glycerin. The truth is, there's a lot of things that are being sold out there that I really don't know how they come across. I stick with vegetable glycerin. Glycerin is glycerin. I don't know if glycerin can whiten, but I'm going to be using vegetable glycerin. And then I also have my preservative phenolphthalein. I'm going to be talking more about this. And then I have my propylene glycol somewhere. I'll show it to you guys. Okay, so I believe that my intro has gotten really long, so let's get straight into this video. Now, I'm working with my bare hands, but I usually advise that you're working with gloves. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use alcohol. I've sterilized all my equipment. I'm just going to be using rubbing alcohol to sterilize my hands. Okay, I don't have gloves at the moment, so that's why I'm using my bare hands. All right, so let's get started. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to be measuring on screen. For people that are very new to formulation, I don't really know what to do, so I'm going to start. So this is a very small scale, so this is my petri dish. This is used for measuring your ingredients. So right now it's at 0.0 gram. I'm going to go on to tar. So if you use a very big, if you use the very big digital scale, I'm making a small quantity, so I like to use my small scale. But if you're using something big, you'll definitely use something as big as this. But my recipe, I have a lot of 0.5s and all of that, so that's why I'm using this. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead to measure out my Ascorbic acid. I'm using Ascorbic acid in this formulation at 15%. Ascorbic acid can be used as your desired range, but I'm going to be using at 15% in this formulation. Okay, so 15% of my formulation, I'm making a 50-gram product, and 15 percent is going to be 7.5 grams. So that's why it's very important I'm using my small scale, because I want to be very, very precise. 7.5 grams. Now there's a lot of talk about, when you're writing your formulation, I've been undergoing a lot of trainings. So it is said that you write out your formulation based on weight, not based on anything in particular. So depending on the highest quantity of your ingredient, that is how you write it. So this is my formulation over here. I have written my ingredients, my function, solubility, the phase they belong to, the percentage, as well as their quantity. Then for things to be easier for me, this is what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so Ascorbic acid 7.5 is ready. I'm going to go ahead to measure out my niacinamide. So I'm going to tar. Niacinamide is my third highest ingredient here. I'm going to be using niacinamide at 5%. And that is 2.5 grams of this formulation. Now, niacinamide has usage rate is also at 10, but niacinamide can do different things depending on the percentage you use it at. I will leave some information on the screen as to the percentage usage of niacinamide and the benefits you get from that. My surface, those are alcohol dipped wipes. Okay, so I use that to clean my surface. Don't want any contamination with this formulation. Okay, so because this is a DIY, many of you might not have like preservatives at home and all of that, and that's particularly fine, because in this formulation I'm not going to be using preservative. Preservative is optional. So if you don't have preservative, it's optional for you. The only thing is you need to consume this between 2 weeks, no longer than 2 weeks. Then it's going to oxidize and it's no longer useful to your skin. So once you've used it 2 weeks, you let it go. So I'm going to be using my distilled water at 70%, and that's 35 grams of my formulation. This has been heated up to 50 degrees Celsius, and so it is warm. I always like to leave an extra gram just in case. So because niacinamide and vitamin C are of different pH range, it is said that if niacinamide and vitamin C, that's Ascorbic acid, are heated at very, very high temperature for a very long time, it can convert to nicotinic acid, which can cause redness. Okay, it's not detrimental to your skin, but it will just cause redness, and you wouldn't like that effect to your skin. Okay, so that is why there's a lot of controversy, but it has been proven to be okay, because definitely your ingredient is not going to be heated for a very long time, right? So this is my Ascorbic acid. It's dissolving. You have to make sure that it's crystal clear. Now, if you're making the type for sale, I recommend using either SAP or MAP or TAP, because those are more stable forms of vitamin C and are much more okay for sale. This is a DIY. Okay, so as you can see, these two products together are very, very beneficial to the skin. They help with pigmentation, they help with acne, they help to brighten up the skin. Very, very good combination, to be honest. You can see it's properly dissolved. I didn't need to add any extra heat to this. I'm going to put it to the side. Then I'm going to go ahead to measure out my other ingredients. Using this dish, I'm going to measure out my aloe vera gel. I'm using 1.5 gram of aloe vera gel. And I've decided to use my vitamin E gel. So I'm going to go ahead to add my propylene glycol. Propylene glycol can serve as a preservative, as an emollient in skincare. I'm going to also be using this at 0.5 grams. So to be on the safer side, some people have said that because we're using Ascorbic acid, using a preservative sometimes alters the efficacy, and so this is a DIY. So if you don't have propylene glycol and all of that, you're fine. Doesn't really matter. And I just think I didn't really talk about the function of all these ingredients. Okay, so like I said, ascorbic acid is an antioxidant. Niacinamide is an active ingredient that helps with pigmentation, that helps with texture, smoothing out and even out the skin. Aloe vera gel is for soothing. The vitamin E or vitamin E gel we use here helps us to also stabilize vitamin C as well as give it moisturizing benefits. And glycerin is a humectant. And so glycerin, I'm about to use glycerin. You can choose to use glycerin just for glycerin's sake, but I'm going to be using glycerin for a reason in this formulation, and you will see. So remember I said it's a serum. Now this is entirely optional because this is budget friendly, remember. So remember I talked about this is a serum. So what really makes a serum is that thick consistency, okay? And so it's optional, people. If you don't have this in the house, it's very, very okay. Okay, it's very okay. You can just substitute and add more water to your formulation. Okay, so I'm going to be thickening this up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using xanthan gum to thicken up this to make it a serum. Okay, so I'm going to be using xanthan gum at 0.2%. Xanthan gum is a thickener, so if you know the function of an ingredient, you'll be able to substitute. So it's a thickener. You can use any other thickener of your choice. I'm going to be using xanthan gum in this formulation. Alright, so xanthan gum, if you add it directly to that, it's going to create a lot of lumps. So what we're going to do is we're going to disperse it in vegetable glycerin. Xanthan gum is dispersible in glycerin. I'm going to be using glycerin at 1 gram. Just help to smoothen out xanthan gum before we apply it into our formulation, because like I said, if you apply xanthan gum into that formulation, it's going to become lumpy, so we have to disperse first. It's more like a solvent or xanthan gum. So what I like to do, I just like to do it little by little. I don't want to put in everything, because xanthan gum is a thickener. It can make your product very, very lumpy. Very, very lumpy. As you can see, that absorbs beautifully into your skin. Alright, so we finished with that, and we're going to go ahead to check the pH of our formulation. Now, the ideal pH of this formulation, because we want our lactic acid to be very, very prominent, I would recommend that the pH of this product is 3.8. But like I said, some people don't have these tools at home, so you might not be able to. So let me help you check. Okay. So as you can see, I've used my pH strips, and this is what we're having. This is about 4. I'm going to use my pH meter, but I don't want to bore you with that. But this is about 4. So if you're able to make it exactly like this, then you should be fine with the pH of your product. Okay. Now, last but not the least, the packaging of your vitamin C. I would advise that you invest in getting an amber bottle, an amber dropper bottle, because you don't want light, water, air, anything to come in contact with your vitamin C. Even industrial vitamin C's that you buy, you notice that they are stored in airtight dropper bottles, because little to no contact to your vitamin C. So this is our vitamin C serum, packaged nicely. Take your dropper bottle. Please endeavor to consume this within 2 weeks. You can store it in a fridge. Just keep it away from sunlight, basically. Keep it cool. Okay? And so guys, that is how you make your vitamin C serum, your DIY vitamin C serum. Okay? Thank you guys for watching. The next video, I will be making the vitamin C that you can use for sale. So if you like to see that, look out for my next video. All right. Bye.